Welcome to the Coachzing Show, helping you work less, earn more, and reach more people through creative content marketing. Join the Coach Zingers community, where the world's best coaches, therapists, authors, and speakers come together to discover the latest trends, forge powerful joint ventures, and grow their business together. Go to coachzing.com/community to join. And now, here's your host, Doug Foresta.
Hello and welcome back to the Coachzing Show. This is Doug Foresta, your host, as always. And this is a show we help you, coaches, therapists, speakers, and authors to work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing. And with me today is someone that I was thinking about this. It's been just about 6 years since she was one of the very first people that I ever interviewed when I first started podcasting. And so I think I've interviewed her on every podcast I've ever done. I've had 3 or 4 different podcasts over the years, and I am such a fan of Brenda MacIntyre, so it's really a pleasure to have her back. I'll say a little bit about her. If you're not familiar with her, I definitely recommend go back to episode 124 and check that one out, and about how to stop hiding and be fully visible in your business. Brenda is known as a medicine song woman. She's a Juno Award-winning singer, which is like the Canadian Grammies. She's a spirit-led mentor, speaker, and goosebump-giver who specializes in helping spiritual women entrepreneurs to own who they are, bring out their fire, and be seen and heard. And you can visit her website at medicinesongwoman.com, medicinesongwoman.com. Brenda MacIntyre, welcome back to the Coachzing Show.
Thanks for having me back. Good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think maybe I'll start with one of the questions I'm really curious for you about. I mean, you've been online for a while. You've been doing this for a while now, and yeah. I'm curious about any new content medium that you've tried in the past year, and what the result of that was.
Cool. Yeah, I've been having fun with, and I'm always trying new stuff. It's true.
Yeah.
I've dove into Periscope, and it's only been about a couple of weeks, and I'm loving it. Like loving it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I mean, when I think about, and I still haven't leveraged it because I've only been on there for 2 weeks, but I've started to, and I'm playing with different ways to do that. And like I have an Oracle deck coming out in the next few weeks, and I've been taking pre-orders and stuff. So I've been doing readings with my cards, and people are loving it. Like I get 100 plus live viewers. And I think about, the work it takes to do, all the writing and all the content you have to create, like just to do the marketing for like 2 to 3 weeks to have them show up for your thing, right? Your webinar, your whatever, right? And then I look at Periscope and I'm like, and I don't have to do any of that. And all I have to do is post a Facebook image post to like maybe 3 groups or 2 groups in my main page. And I'm getting 100 plus live viewers with no emails at all. So
right, what does it take to get like 100 people on a webinar? Right, it's like it's exhausting.
It's like almost impossible these days. Well, for me, I mean the most people I ever had sign up for one was when I had just opened for Greg Braden. It was like 2012 was coming. The energy was high about that, and I did a call on 11/11/11, and that brought like 500 signups.
Right.
But honestly, live viewers, there were about 100 at that point. I've never had that amount again. I know with the big guys too, who are like have way bigger lists than me, who are, maybe it's like 50 people showing up max. Like, it's hard to get a lot of people live showing up.
Yeah, actually,
Periscope, it's like that's what it's about.
Totally.
Yeah.
Actually, Chris Ducker was on recently, and he said the same thing. He's like, it's amazing. Now, I do see on Facebook, and I'm going to get on there because I want to check out your Periscopes. I've seen your, the thing saying, hey, I'm going live. So what are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing on the Periscopes?
Oh, I'm doing all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, mostly I'm doing readings. Mostly I'm doing that. So I'll do like, I'll pull out my deck and and my new deck that I just created, and I play them because it's a system. It works with my music, so I'll play the music with it. So hold on, and I'll call it a musical oracle scope or something like that. I'll put my iTunes on to my CD that goes with the cards, And then I just start giving a reading. I start shuffling the cards and, talking to them and interacting, and I'll do an oracle scope. So it's a reading for the whole group. A couple of times I've done mini readings. That can be a little time consuming, but man, they love that too. And I've been on others as well, and people eat it up. They love that. And then the other things I've done, like the lunar eclipse, we did a full moon fire ceremony for that. So unfortunately, we didn't get to even see the eclipse, but it would have been so dark anyway for a scope. But I did like a pre-thing, and I just went down by the river, right almost in the river, and did a scope, like a channeled medicine song. And people love that too. When I do that, they love it. So that's like, and I've done that twice. And then I just did one even last night. I'm like, okay, I committed to doing one every day. So last night, it's like almost 2 a.m. because I'm a night owl. So
yes, you and I are those people who are working. Yeah, I think we've had this conversation on Facebook. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. But even it's starting to be a bit late for me. I've been getting to bed earlier, so I'm in my healing room, like just channeling a medicine song. It was just a quick few minutes. I didn't even promote it, and I got 38 viewers. Did not even promote it. You promote it because what happens is when you broadcast, you click the Twitter button, and then it just automatically broadcasts to Twitter. And it says, here, live now, blah, blah, blah. So
I think there's
this huge
shift. I think there's this huge shift coming that I can really feel. And I think someone like you, Brenda, I think Periscope is going to work so well for this. I'm curious about your thoughts about this, and I don't mean this to bash anyone, but I think it's going to force us to step up and be more real and present, because with streaming video, you have to be I'd like to think that the Doug, if you ran into me in the grocery store, you'd get the same Doug as you get here. But I think it used to be that there were people who were very good at managing their image, and I think it's going to be harder for those people right, to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It totally is. I mean, because they, all the coaches and whatever, I never bought this in the first place, okay? The whole thing about YouTube, and you have to, it has to be this bright, polished, shiny, perfect video. I'm like, bullshit. Sorry,
right.
But no. For my homepage, I'll have a nice video, but I'm even seriously considering doing more a scope thing for my new homepage. We're working on a new site, and when I do, I feel like that's going to be what I do, because I think there's just been so much of this bright and shiny, perfect, and it's bullshit. Nobody's that person,
right?
And that's the whole beauty of Periscope. And I thought that myself. There are going to be some, people in the industry who are going to kind of fall down with Periscope. They're not going to be able to get away with that.
No.
Because it's, you see, they would be the ones doing reality TV, which is not reality, right?
Right, exactly.
But honestly, you can't, it's totally in the moment, And honestly, when I see this, it does bother me if I see people look into a script, because people still do.
Yeah, it's really...
Sure. A couple of cheat notes or whatever to keep you on track, but
to actually have a script, or to be doing something that puts a distance between you and something that's manipulative or distancing, or you're hiding in some way. I think people because isn't that, that's your whole thing, is helping people to really step out into their light. And I think there are some big gurus who are going to have a hard time with this.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them, and it's going to be hard. And this is the sad thing is, and I used to be one of the, just kind of in that world, having being coached by people who are kind of in that world. And a lot of people who have been coached by, in that way, with that method of having to be, bright, shiny. And I know there's the whole done is better than perfect thing or whatever, but that's not really what's going on.
No.
Are going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time because they've been coached in that way and told, that it has to be this way, and you have to spend thousands of dollars to get your videos perfect and whatever, and you don't.
Right, and you look like you fell out of, you look like you fell out of glamour shots at the mall, and
I know. Yeah, last night I'm doing my scope, and I'm my hair's not even. I think I combed it yesterday. I just it's just you. The only thing I will say is I have a screen here, so that I can have my privacy of like my home and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, no, if I get on there and start trying to like not be real, like people will just run away. They're not interested in that. Yeah.
So I want to ask you as well, because I'm really curious. I know that you have a really interesting answer to this, so I want to ask you this question about the other thing that, so a couple things people always are thinking about is how do I get out there, and the other one is how do I create content, and then how do I bring people to it. So I want to ask you the question about traffic, because I know you have a pretty interesting strategy for traffic. Can you share with us your favorite strategy for driving traffic to your content?
Yeah, totally. So there's lots and lots of ways you can do that. You know, whether it's video or e-zine or blog or like getting out there and speaking and all, podcasting like you're doing or Periscope or Facebook, blah, 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 whatever. There's lots of ways to do that. But the most important thing that I teach my clients is to activate their VPS in that, which is your voice, power, and spirit working together, so that you're not just like, people aren't just reading blah, blah, blah words on the page or hearing you blah, 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 just talking, right? Like it's not just a talking head. So people actually get to feel and experience you in your work, right? And they're not just like seeing, it's because that's mostly what people are posting is just blah, 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 and here I am. But if you post from that place of having activated your voice, power, and spirit together, people feel you. And then there's like a moment, and when I know for sure I've tested this and seen the difference with just even on Facebook, posting something when I'm just feeling like, it's a regular day, regular moment, and then posting it, voice, power, spirit, activation. And I mean, people flock to the post, there's comments, there's likes, people share it. It's just completely different. And it's the same like on Periscope, like what you're talking about. It's like being real. And another way I describe that is being 500% you.
I love that.
Yeah. So, and that it helps you too. Like if you're like, when you do that, when you activate your VPS, it actually helps you with your confidence. If you're feeling nervous or shy or like awkward in a sales conversation or an interview or networking, etc., like it helps you to amplify your confidence and bring out more of you. And then you create this beautiful connection with the people in front of you.
Now I'm going to ask you a question that I know is probably a complicated answer, but how do you activate your VPS?
Yeah, well, like there's three simple steps, and I have an audio too, and I'll gift it to your peeps in a minute. But I can give you the basic steps. I mean, it's step 1 is breathe. Step 2 is connect, and step 3 is sound your voice. So you're doing, don't even sound your voice until you've already done the breathing and connecting, because breathing puts you into your body, and there's a certain way of doing it. Because there's lots of other ways we can breathe that bring us into what I call anxiety land, which is not where you want to live.
Hyperventilating, right?
Yeah.
Done that before. Yeah.
But the way that I teach it, no, there's a way to breathe that will bring you into your body and into present moment, so that you're not up in your head going, I don't know, like what to say, or they're not going to buy my stuff or whatever. And so then you're present and grounded. And then the connecting part, well, yeah, you connect, and there's a 3-way connection that happens. It's not just connecting, like general connecting, but and the audio describes that and gives you it, walks you through it. But yeah, connecting, I mean, the most important thing, because if we aren't connecting with our audience, then what's the point? Right? Like
right.
You could be talking to nothing then.
That's right.
Yeah, and then when you sound your voice and you've already got that connection happening, and the breathing really does help you with the connection too, then when you talk to the person, you've got their attention, and it's like they're feeling you and experiencing you, whether it's in person or on a page or, on a video or whatever, audio, whatever it is. Yeah.
I think the work that you're doing now, Brenda, is going to become even more important. I mean, it's always been important. But I really do believe that with video streaming and what's happening, we're going to, what it's doing is it's making, people really are knowing us they're really they're getting to know us, and they're demanding to know us as like they want to know who we are, and so voice and presence is going to be even more. I mean, I'm curious about your thoughts about that, but my thoughts are that it's going to be even more important than it has been.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I mean, yeah, that's like at my last event that I just did, and it was in the entire room of people agreed to this. They've never been on Periscope before, don't even really know what it is. I gave them like a little 5-minute intro to Periscope and said, and now you're going to be on it. So it introduced,
awesome.
Are you all in? I asked them, and yeah, and they all, and I have to still post that. I saved anyways, I got the replay of that one because Periscope, 24-hour replay, and then it's gone. But I saved this one, and the thing is, yeah, they got to introduce themselves and their business and just be real in the moment. And here we are, and they're watching me like talk to my phone, and it's like, wow, this is a weird, wonderful world. But here we are, and this is really cool to just be at your events and do that, and then include the audience, and But yeah, it's becoming super important because I see, and I'm sure you've seen too in your work, that people are afraid of being seen, and yet that's what they want the most. And I know that's what it was for me too. I was terrified of being seen and heard.
We only have two fears. It's like one. At least for me, I know it was like only two fears. One is that nobody will notice me, and the other is that people will notice me.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and once you kind of play with whatever the medium is, and yeah, if you can really activate your VPS in there, then it goes so much easier, and you feel so much more confident and grounded in it, and then it becomes something that you can do instead of something that you're terrified to do. Yeah.
Do you have any sort of my last question for you, Brenda, which is about, because I hear a lot of people say this, and which is about, it's funny because it's even on camera, even when it's video, people will say, I hate my voice. I hate the way I can't stand listening to myself. Do you have any thoughts or, about, I mean, one of them would be they should work with you. That would be one thought. But do you have any thoughts for people about, or any advice or tips about if somebody just feels like they just don't like their voice?
Yeah. For one, you're not even hearing what everybody else is hearing, for one, because you're hearing it with your inner ear and your outer ear, and everybody else doesn't have your inner ear, and they're not in your body, so they're not hearing the same thing as you. So it doesn't even sound like you think it sounds. But then when you hear yourself on a recording, I know, and that's why, right? That's why it's kind of can be a shocker for some people to be like, I sound like that.
Right.
But then there's things you can do with tone of voice. And the thing is, when you're bringing your VPS out, then your voice sounds different. It sounds more strong, clear. It's filled with your passion, and it's filled with more you, and it's more compelling and much more magnetic and attractive than if you're just kind of blah, blah, blahing, right?
That's right.
Yeah. It changes everything about, how you sound and how people experience you too. Yeah.
Can you just give people an idea too of like what are the kinds of things that you help people with? What are the kinds of things that you help people with in your practice?
Yeah. What I do is, and I'm shifting actually where my business is going. It's fun.
That is, yes.
Yeah, like my clients right now are working with me in the way that I really want to work with people, which is wonderful. I'm mostly what I'm doing now is helping people bring out their spiritual gifts and express who they really are in the world, instead of hiding behind, I don't know if they hiding behind modalities they've learned or hiding behind just a facade. And like we've been talking about, you can't, like with Periscope, you can't do that, like trying to be real, but not just being real, but actually, sharing that calling that you're here to share. And like how you would know if that's, if that's what's happening for you is it feels like if you're a woman, it feels like an overdue baby, and it's like, get this thing out of me now. Like, and if you're not a woman, who's experienced pregnancy or whatever, like, no, it's like this thing that has to burst out of you, and you have something bigger that you've got to say or share, with people, but you're not doing it because there's some fear there, and usually it's a lot of fear, and about being seen. It really, a lot of times, that's really what it boils down to, being just the fear of people actually, like you said, noticing them. So I help them to bring out more confidence. I help them to be able to express themselves. And like one of my clients, to give you an example, and she's not even, because I mostly work with healers, shamans, or people who are like, I'm not that, but that's really what I am.
Yeah.
To be able to bring, like they're in the closet with it, to help them bring themselves out of the closet with it and really come out and shine with who they are. But one of my clients who is in the financial sector, I mean, she came to me like totally shy, very, very quiet, and not really able to express her truth, would just sit and kind of observe, and like really, really difficult for her to do networking, just like, avoiding it altogether, not doing sales calls, just kind of hiding, and yet she has this beautiful gift to share. So what I did was I helped her actually to see what that gift is, which is like she has some freaking number magic, man. Like she has some magic with that. It's not even just that she's really good at it. There's magic happening there. And so she can see things with numbers and nobody else can see. And she can help her clients then make more money, save more money and all that because of that gift that she has, right?
Yeah.
And then so helping her to see that, and then actually, overcoming some of that shyness, because I'm shy, right? And I can work with that. And that's how I work with that.
Yeah.
And so, she's still a shy person. She would still say she's very introverted. But the difference between a couple years ago when we started working together, and now, like, I think it was a year ago, actually. It's only been a year. Because she came to my last event, and I'm like, wow, like she's just glowing and able to talk about her business, and like talking with everybody, networking is amazing to see that. And also just, spilling out who she is. And for her, one of the most cool things was that she has had all kinds of really neat experiences, spiritual experiences that she never had before. So she feels that connection in ways that she never felt before. And it brings her to, it brings her to that more of who she is, so she can bring out more of who she is. Does that make sense?
It's beautiful. Absolutely. It makes perfect sense. And I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing because that's really what this show is about. It's about how do you get your message out? How do you express your truth? And so I think what you're doing is really beautiful. And I think particularly, not that men's voices haven't been silenced, but I think women's voices have been traditionally more silenced than men. And so I think your work with women and here, and we have, it's most of the world, right? And what are we doing? We're silencing most of the world's voice. So I think the work you're doing is so liberating, like spiritually liberating work is what comes to mind to me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, please let people know again, if they'd like to learn more about you, if they'd like to you said you had a freebie for.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I have a Find Your Voice gift pack, which basically is like an instant confidence booster in the moment. And it's how to activate your VPS, like I was talking about. So actually walks you through the steps. It's an audio, and I think there's some other little goodies in there too. So it's our new freebie. And so it's medicinesongwoman.com. And you get the audio, and it gives you. So I'm doing it with you in the audio, and I actually went deeper with this to give you an even more powerful breath than I usually teach. It's really cool. So to help you to manifest as well, and really kind of deepen that practice. So that's available for free at medicinesongwoman.com.
Brenda MacIntyre, thank you so much thanks for coming back. It's just always a pleasure to speak with you. And like I said, I love I won't even call it a pivot. It's just, I love the clarity that you're continuing to get in your business and the way you're helping people.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thanks for having me on your show again. Love
Absolutely.
hanging
My
out with
pleasure.
you.
We'll do it again.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for listening. I want to remind you that if you've not subscribed to the show, go and visit iTunes, click the subscribe button, and you will get more episodes with great guests helping you to work less, earn more, and help more people and share your voice through content marketing. This is Doug Foresta at The Coachzing Show.
Thank you for listening to The Coachzing Show. Subscribe to us via iTunes, and please leave us a review. It helps us grow our awesome tribe. This show is brought to you by Coachzing.com's Speak to Publish book system. If your book is stuck in your head, we can help you get it out in just a dozen hours of your time. Go to Coachzing.com for more information. Have you joined the Coach Zingers community yet? You'll get exclusive access to private mastermind calls where you can get instant marketing help from industry experts. Plus, we'll help you forge deals and partnerships with other like-minded professionals. Go to Coachzing.com/community to join now.